Hi, it's Robert Kiyosaki, and this is part of our ongoing series where, I tweet, and I think I'm limited to 240 words, which is a good disciplined process of, saying a lot in a few words. So one of the tweets was about unemployed bankers. What does that mean? Well, that was kind of my projection, given that Warren Buffett dumped his banking shares. And a big question is, why would Buffett dump banking shares and buy gold? Well, I think, and it's my opinion, is because the economy is in worse shape than ever before. And so it's bad news. So the good news is, if you've been buying gold, silver, and Bitcoin, it might be a good time. I've been buying gold, silver, and Bitcoin for silver since 64 and gold since 72, 73, and Bitcoin just recently. And it's because the dollar is fake. It's my book, Fake Money. But anyway, why unemployed bankers is because the economy is, this is my opinion, I could be wrong. The economy is crashing at such a high rate of speed, and the US government has to get money into the hands of the people, and they don't know how to do it. So the Fed and the Treasury kind of have to bypass the banks. So the banks are now obsolete. In other words, for me to get a loan like PPP, I had to go to my banker. And although the government said they would back up the bank, bankers don't want to lend money to people without money or poor credit. So the banks, as we know them, Wells Fargo, those guys, they just get in the way. So I think that's a sign of the future. They're just going to get rid of the banks. They're going to go direct what's called UBI, Universal Basic Income. This is basically Marxism and socialism. And they're going to go to MMT, I call it Marxist monetary theory. They're just going to give you money straight to keep the economy from crashing. So the bankers got in the way of the Fed and Treasury giving people money. And so that's why I said unemployed bankers. And something else just happened is that banks stopped paying dividends. So there are so many mom and pops, and there's many funds, retirement funds, which is why I wrote Who Stole My Pension. They don't have any dividends coming in from the banks. So the banks are in serious trouble. And I'm speculating a lot, but that's why I think Buffett dumped the banks. And he went into Barrick Gold, and he went to a Japanese silver trading organization, because he's becoming hard money, gold, silver, Bitcoin. So is this more like George Orwell's Big Brother? I think it is. What do you think? And will the US go to crypto? Will the US dollar become crypto? Eventually it will, but right now, I hate to say this, but the world is filled with old guys like me. We don't know what crypto is. So you're going to have to wait for the old guys to die so the young guys who use crypto can use it. So crypto is eventually coming in, but the old guys like me are in the way. And I think that's really kind of my answer. So it's coming. My concern about crypto is it's like more Big Brother listening in on you, watching you. They can control you. They know what you're spending your money on. They can track everything. It's much like the vaccine, I think, is really, they're going to say, if you don't get vaccinated, you can't get on a plane, you can't get a job, you can't do this. So to answer your question about Big Brother, I would say yes. I would say it's basically a Marxist state. It's really quite frightening for me right now because, I'm a friend of Donald Trump's. He's a great guy. I worked with him for 8 years. I would vote for him if he was a Democrat. I wouldn't care. His sons and I are very good friends. We're a good family, very good people, very respectful people. But when CNN, Communist News Network or continuous negative news attacks Donald and his family, it's like attacking my family. I get very upset about it. But I've never been political until this election, because it's an important election. I never vote. I vote, but I'm not really participate. So I put Trump pen signs out, and every night somebody comes and steals them. So they leave the other signs out there. But Trump and pen signs are always stolen. I think this guy's going around just yanking them out of the ground. So I was driving down the main street here in Arizona, in Phoenix. There's no Trump pen signs out. And I think it's because if anybody puts them out there, they yank them out of the ground. So I've never, politics is a dirty game. My poor dad was involved in politics, and I swore I'd never participate. I just don't like politics. You don't, who's lying? Well, everybody's lying. I just don't trust anybody. But anyway, that's kind of my answers for the first one. Why they be unemployed bankers? Because the economy is changing. We are going to crypto eventually, but also because the economy is crashing. And I believe, and I could be wrong, the Fed and the Treasury need to get money into the economy as quickly as possible. But as we speak at this moment, we have the Democrats and the Republicans fighting, and the fight got worse because Trump nominated his third Supreme Court justice. It sends the Democrats into Titherland. Their hair's on fire. So they're not going to let the people have the money. Everybody's waiting for that stimulus check. It's not a stimulus check, but it does, because it doesn't do anything. But all the people are waiting for the stimulus checks. They're not going to hold it up because they want Trump not elected. So it's a dirty game. I'm not saying we should vote for if you vote, but it's a dirty, dirty game. And unfortunately, all of us in the economy paid for it. So that's why the Rich Dad Company was formed, so you can get smarter about your money. Anyway, thank you. That's why I said bankers are unemployed.